Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's call. My name is Ari Page, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Fund and Grow. And today, you've made a very smart decision being here with us. Over the course of the next hour, I'll be bringing on two guests that'll help you cut through the clutter and show you how to leverage a new economic loophole that puts wholesalers and flippers in position to profit faster and with greater predictability than ever before. Now, one of the people you'll be hearing from is the guy, literally the guy that Harvard calls on for insights into the real estate market. They have him host their State of the Union for real estate. Now, let's stop here for a second. Harvard is one of the best schools in the world, and this is the guy they go to for real estate investing insights. That's a big wow. So he's timed the ups and downs of the real estate market perfectly. But more importantly, he spells out exactly what to do in each market. This has made him one of the wealthiest real estate investors I've ever met. And to think he started it in a trailer park. And hosting the call today with our Harvard economist is a gentleman that I've known for 10 years. He runs one of the largest networks of real estate investors on the planet, facilitates hundreds of millions in private money loans, spends millions analyzing real estate data, and has been investing in real estate since he was 18. Many people refer to him as the Steve Jobs of the real estate investing world. Now, I asked him to put on a special presentation for you, breaking down exactly what to do and, most importantly, what not to do, especially in the wake of the global crisis. So I'd like to introduce you to the one and only Ross Hamilton. So Ross, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to help the individuals on the line make some sense out of what's happening in the world. And Ross, are you here?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. I know people have been dying to hear from you since the last time that we had you on. Really appreciate you getting on and teaching our folks today. So, man, I'm going to go ahead and hit mute here and get out of the way and let you take it away. Thanks so much, Ross.
All right, that sounds good because what we put together for your folks here is a training like none other for a time like none other. So this is really the moment we've been waiting for a long time. You're going to be able to 10x your income in the next 24 months by helping America recover. That's adding a zero to the end of anything you're making. So if you're making $50,000 a year, we're going to show you how to make $500,000 a year. And I know you might be saying, Ross, I don't have an income. I lost my job. You will have an income directly after this call. So if you can hear me, go ahead and say hello. Okay, good. I'm glad everyone can hear me. And let me explain something. The world needs real estate investors right now more than ever before. I love this quote right here. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. By succeeding as a real estate investor, you get to do your part to help America on the road to recovery. And you get to make a fortune while you're doing it. So if you want to both help America, your family, and your bank account, pay attention. We're going to cover the ups and downs. This way you can make an informed decision on what to do in this market, if it makes sense for you and your life right now. Now, from time to time, I'm going to demo some software that you'll be able to invest in at the end of this call. And it just speeds up the entire process. But you can take what you've learned here and tackle this with or without the software. I just want to make sure that you fully understand what's available. Either way, you're going to be a much smarter individual after this call. And I really hope you're watching this on a desktop, because I'm going to show you some really amazing things and you might not be able to interact with us on your phone. So here's just a reality of what's happening. Millions of people will spend the next few years struggling, while others will use that same time to make millions and help those that are struggling. We're talking about helping America. We're talking about building a nest egg for yourself, helping yourself. We're talking about taking care of those family members that are going to need your financial support today, tomorrow, and in the future. So again, pay attention. Now, speaking of family, let me just ask this question before we get started. What would your life be like if your parents started investing in real estate during the recession of their lifetime? Think about that. Imagine if your parents bought a bunch of real estate during the recession of their lifetime. Your entire life would be different. So think about your kids, think about your family and what you need to be doing right here, right now. So to me, it's not the Great Recession, the Great Depression, it's the Great Progression. I look at these times as the Great Progression. It's really the great reinvention, right, of real estate investing and of you. We're talking about the whole economy is taking quantum leaps forward in many aspects. There's transformation happening. Yes, it's a little bit messy right now, But as we move forward, automation is taking place and new opportunities are arriving. And I look at this on a personal level. I look at it as a transformation, kind of going from this to this, right? This is the before and after of your life, the before and after of your financial situation. You get to reinvent everything right here, right now in this economy. So here's a fact. There are no bad markets, just bad strategies for the markets you're in. In this market, there'll be billionaires, millionaires, and witnesses. And you can't afford to be a witness. There are too many people that need your help, too many opportunities that are out there for you just to sit on the sidelines. So let me just go over the agenda here, because this call is not just me talking to you. We have some really great people on the line here. And if this is your first webinar with us, can you put it in the webinar box? Or if you've attended a few in the past, I promise if this is your first, it definitely won't be your last, because nobody does it like Connected Investors. So we're going to go over a short introduction. I already went over about half of it already, where we'll kind of lay out what we're going to be covering. Then we're going to give you the State of the Union. And this is from the guy that Harvard calls on. Okay, this guy's a contrarian. He's a maverick. He times the market perfect. You're going to want to listen to this. We're going to go over a strategy session with some people that are in the streets right now, making it happen. We're going to give you clear and concise understandings of every step in logical order. And we're going to show you new technologies that make it faster and easier. Now, in the past, I would have to do a week-long training to get you where you're going to be by the end of this call. But things have been so streamlined, I can't wait to show them to you. And we're going to show you the PIN method. I know a lot of you are here because you want to see PIN5. You want to understand how to use this to accelerate your already profitable real estate investing business. And we're going to show you that. And then we're also going to allow you to search your market. So what I want you to do right now is during this call, I'm going to do some demos of some different markets. So I want you to go ahead and put in the webinar box your market, your city and your state. All right, go ahead and put your city and state in the webinar box right now. So let me go ahead and just break this down step by step. We're going to show you what to do in this market and why, with real data, stuff that you don't have access to. You'll see all the cross currents of what's happening and where to be in the path of profits, the path of progress. Because there's a lot of businesses that are dying, a lot of real estate strategies that are dying. I'm going to make sure that you see what's coming around the corner. How to make money quickly in real estate. For those of you who need money in your pocket now, we're going to cover that. Everything you need step by step. How to find properties at steep discounts. This is what we're best at right here, and we're going to show you all new ways to find properties and inventory sources that you've never heard of. I don't care how long you've been in the business. We're going to show you how to save thousands of dollars a month. To be a real estate investor, you have to make some investments in your business, right? People say, hey, Ross, you said I can make money investing in real estate without using any of my own money. And then you say, I need to buy these few programs. Well, yeah, you have to make an investment in your business, but you don't need necessarily to go out and raise hundreds of thousands of dollars like you would for any type of business. But what I'm going to show you is how to save thousands of dollars a month so you can get in for pennies, make your first deal, and keep scaling up. We're also going to show you how to automate the hardest aspects, the things that scare you guys, the things that you constantly study and never take action on, because automation is key. All right. Make sure things are happening for you every second of every day. It gives you a huge competitive advantage. We're going to show you how to have predictability during times of uncertainty. Is anyone feeling a little uncertain right now? All right. We're going to make sure that with everything else that's going on, at least your real estate investing business and your profits are much more predictable. So you can plan your life, right? And we're going to show you how to save. Ultimately, at the end of the day, all of this adds up to you making money and saving thousands of hours of work. And that's not an exaggeration. All right. So if you guys are liking that, leave a comment. Let us know what you think, because this is my side of the deal. This is what I have to bring to you. Now, this is your side of the deal. You have to decide if you want an automated real estate investing business in this climate. If you look at what I'm going to share with you here and you decide it's not for you, no worries. I'm going to make sure that I'm teaching you from the beginning all the way to the end so you can come up with your own decision if you want to build or grow your real estate investing business in this economy. And ultimately, you're going to decide if you want to get help from me and my team. I'm going to give you an offer, an opportunity to save a whole lot of time and money. And if you're not into it, that's fine. Right? But I'm going to make sure that our time together is well spent, and I'm going to teach as much as I possibly can. So make sure to get your notebook out. All right, so let's go over this. Who's going to benefit most from being here? First and foremost, the active flippers and landlords. Anyone who's actively making big checks flipping real estate or has passive income coming in, right? That just wants to push further. It's really a no-brainer. We're going to give you access to inventory that you don't have, presented in a way that's never been presented, and allow you to move faster and cut your cost, right? So if you're already in the business, at the end of the day, at the very least, you're going to learn how to cut your operational cost on this call. And really, guys, the theme of this is you have to adapt or die. It's all about reinvention. Your old business models are not going to work over time. And we're also going to talk about someone who I call the overthinker or the newbie. These are the people who they're just trying to learn everything. They're listening to podcasts, watching videos, reading books, and they feel like they're making progress, but they're really not, because they're not doing anything, because they're in their own way from taking those critical steps to start making money. So we're going to get you out of your own way, show you breakthroughs that make it very easy and get you in the game now, because you have to be present to win. You got to show up to win in this game. And also, real estate agents, attorneys, contractors, and lenders that are sick of watching their clients get rich. Now, this is not a subset that we usually advertise this to, but there's so many individuals that are just coming to us because of all of the data and advancements we have. So we've tailored a few slides to you guys so you can start making all the big money as well. And people are looking for a side hustle, right? Or a new career. There are many people that want to kind of tiptoe into real estate, get a few deals under their belt, and then transition out of their job and start doing it full time. You know, let me just say this. The ability to get into real estate part-time didn't really exist a short time ago, because it was so much hard work and so much time. Remember that question I asked you? What would your life be like if your parents were real estate investors? It was so much harder for them. Not to mention interest rates were probably 26% back then, right? So it's so easy now. It's almost irresponsible not to do it. You'll see that as this whole thing unfolds. So guys, if you're looking for anything that I'm going to show you right here, just know that the search is over, right? You can have that calm inside. It's a breath of fresh air. So if you're looking for high profit off-market deals in your time, the search is over. That's what we're best at. If you're looking for motivated private money partners, we have this problem solved. And if you're looking for real buyers to compete for your deals, this is something brand new that we're debuting on this call right here. All of this is solved. So the search is over for deals, right? Take a look at this survey. Look how many people went through this survey, right? We're the largest network of real estate investors out there. So when we put out a survey, people jump right in. So what's your biggest challenge right now? Finding deals at deep discounts is the #1 challenge. Remember, that's what we're best at, and that's what we're going to solve on this call. PINv5 is nicknamed the pre-MLS because you get deals before everyone else, before the masses. Other people, they say, man, Ross, I don't understand the process. What do I actually do? We're going to guide you through that whole thing. This one right here was getting over the fear of talking to people. Well, the strategy that we're showing, you actually don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to, which is really great. Some people are just scared to talk to someone. And then lining up the money, you know we're going to solve that for you. And here's something that's just the biggest excuse I hear from people, right? The search is over for money. People say, I can't invest in real estate because I have no money. We disrupted this entire industry and facilitate $5 billion a month in private loans for real estate investors. This is non-bank capital for fix and flips and rentals. But if you didn't know that, if you don't know how to get access to this good old boys network, which is what it used to be until we kind of came in and brought it into the light, then this was you right here. You were on the outside just trying to get in, and no one was letting you in, right? You were spinning your wheels online, talking to people on forums that are trying to scam you or something, right? Like, it's been very difficult until now. So the search is over for money. So here's a awesome question right here. I want you guys to answer this. Every single person, take a look, come back to the screen here. Let's go ahead and answer this right here. You must have money to make money. Choose one of the 4. I'm going to take a sip of my water here. I want you to go ahead and choose one of the 4. All right, strongly agree, agree, disagree, or strongly disagree. Well, here are the survey results. Wow, so many people are kind of stuck agreeing that they have to have money to make money. They're giving themselves permission to have an excuse. Are you giving yourself permission to have an excuse? I hope not. we're going to go ahead and alleviate that on the call here. But take a look at this. So what we did with this survey is everyone who strongly disagreed, I looked at their other questions and we took a look at their income and how successful they were. And the highest earners strongly disagreed that you had to have money to make money. They've seen it firsthand. They understand leverage. That's why the rich get richer. Leverage. They understand OPM, other people's money, OPT, other people's time, automation. They're all about automation. The power of real estate. They've seen this firsthand. So really interesting data we got from the survey there. All right, and just remember guys, write this down, take a picture of this, get this tattoo. If this is your excuse, self-made does not mean self-financed. That was one of those things that some people hear that, if they can really accept that, then they can get to that next level, right? They can finally get to the next step. And here's Dawn. She came through Connect Investors, went through our funding portal and found a funding partner that provided them the money and the down payment, got 100% funding. She didn't have an excuse. Oh, lenders don't want to lend to me because I need 20 or 30% down. Guys, we have techniques and ways where you can get 100% funded all day long. She thought that she couldn't invest in real estate because she didn't have the money. She was held back due to funding. Not anymore. Not anymore. All right. So, you know, the search is over for deals, the search is over for funding, but the search is also over for buyers. This is our world premiere here. And this is the culmination of nearly 2 decades of work. You're now going to have verified property buyers with specific buying criteria, and you simply fill their orders. I'm going to go over this in detail shortly, but if you're an experienced investor, you could actually be one of these verified property buyers. This is CI Buyers. It's our certified buyer network. And this is something exclusive we're going to be breaking down and giving you access to on this training. Like I said, this is like nothing you ever seen before. Probably already, if you've been on a few calls, you've probably never seen some of the stuff that we've touched on. So we have some beta users in there. And this is Tim. He's like, it was that easy. After uploading a wholesale property, I received a message from an interested cash buyer. They wanted to buy the property. We just closed and it was that easy. I just found my second buyer on the site. Got to tell you guys, this site is really great. Tim, you know, Tim was on the sidelines for a long time because he was worried he'd get stuck with a property. But after following our process, the PIN method, and tapping into our network, those concerns vanished and money appeared. The same thing's going to happen for you. And let's just talk about what's happening in the world right now, okay? Because we can't manufacture these economic conditions ever again. If you stay on the sidelines now, you might as well stay out of real estate forever. Here's some facts. 90% of millionaires come from real estate. You guys agree with that? A lot of people become accidental millionaires in real estate, which is why it's so high. Fortunes are made during uncertainty. You guys agree with that? Yes or yes? Right? Things are moving, things are uncertain. Wealth is transferring from one hand to another. That's when millions is made. The market favors real estate. Once we bring on our Harvard expert here and you see what's happening, you're going to agree with that really strongly. And 2 juggernaut industries have collided. Real estate and technology have collided to finally make real estate investing easy. Real estate investing, like I don't know what happened in the tech world. It's like every industry became amazing except for real estate. The real estate websites that are out there are so like dusty and they look like they're from like, you know, the 80s practically. And people don't want to give you information. The reason that real estate has not seen a revolution tech-wise is because people profit from the inefficiencies. I'm going to say that again. People profit from the real estate inefficiencies. What we do at Connect Investors is we remove those inefficiencies surgically, one at a time for over 15 years. And this is the culmination of everything we've been working toward. You know, the Board of Realtors is the 2nd largest lobbyist in Washington, trying to keep their stronghold, their monopoly over the 6% on every transaction. Now, we're not going to go after them for retail real estate, but on the investment real estate side, we're taking a large portion of that away from them with the stuff that you're going to learn right here, right now. All right. So I got to just do kind of a little side note here. One of the biggest challenges here, I'm kind of jumping off the normal presentation here. When I'm writing these presentations, I have to write to 2 different types of people. I have to write to someone who's brand new, and I have to write to someone who is very experienced. And typically I would write 2 very different presentations, but this presentation actually pulls both of them in. But what I need you to do for me is there's going to be a few slides where I go over experience things that might be a little bit over your head. And don't worry, it will all come together at the end. And for the experienced investors, I'm going to go over some basics here, and it's a good refresher for you as well because the basics have changed. The basics of real estate investing have changed, which is why right now it's really excited to be brand new because you don't have to learn old tactics that don't work. So this is one of those slides, right? This is the experienced investor slide. So we have new lead flow called pre-REO. There are so many properties out there right now that the banks are holding back from pre-foreclosure, but we've found access to those, and we're going to give you access to those. There's new data layering inside our software. Does anyone know what data layering is? If you do, put it in the webinar box and let me know why. I want to hear your words. Why is data layering so important? Why does data layering give you a competitive advantage? Why does data layering save you cost and make you more money? For the people that are using data and know what this is, I want to see it in the box so some of the newbies can kind of get up to speed on why this is so important. All right, so here's an example on what you're going to be able to do after this call and actually during this call. If you want a 3-bedroom house with a carport that's over 2,000 square feet, built after 1978 in a certain neighborhood that's vacant with an out-of-town owner, this owner put 20% down, the property has 50% equity with a 4% interest rate, owned by a vet, has an HOA lien, recently had an expired listing, plus you want the owner's contact info and a text message to be sent, you can do it. You got it. Now, I know this is a mouthful here, but this right here is what it means to pinpoint and find the best, most motivated people. As the foreclosure tsunami comes, it's not about motivated sellers, it's about finding the right motivated sellers. We're expecting 10 times more data to hit our database of pre-foreclosures over the next several months, 10 times more. So we have to make sure that you can find the best deals. All right, you got it. So hang tight, guys. And for the newbies, we have an easy mode for all of this stuff. Easy mode. That sounds fun, right? All right. And we're talking about direct deal flow, right? Direct deal flow. This has nothing to do with you going out and manufacturing your own leads and own opportunities. I'm going to show you something here. All right. World premiere number 2, right? Experienced investors. Shh, quiet. All right. You excited? Here we go. So what we're doing at Connected Investors is we're going out and doing the lead generation for you, where motivated sellers can come and get cash offers from verified CI buyers. So that's where we're getting to. And if you are an experienced investor, you're going to get access to be on the other side of this. This is leads just delivered to you on a silver platter that meet your exact buying criteria. Next level, no one else is doing it. This is why it's important to be part of the Connected Investors ecosystem and be part of the Connected Investors movement on how we're changing the flow of real estate. And again, for those that are new, we have easy mode, right? You can see it on the screen here. I gotta find my drawing pen, and advanced mode. It took nearly 2 decades to get here, but we didn't want to make things so crazy that newbies couldn't get in there. This is like a game of connect the dots or paint by numbers. So easy mode allows you to find deals that no one else can find very easily. More on that in a second. Now, for those of you who don't know my story, I've been investing in real estate since 2005, but I'm not a guru. You know, I don't speak from stage and wear a nice suit with a crisp tie or anything like that. I don't travel around and do presentations all around the country. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of my best friends do that type of thing. It's just not who I am and what we're about at Connected Investors. We're a venture-backed, data-driven technology company, and our mission has been the same since 2005, make real estate investing easier. I've been investing in real estate since I was 18. I've published several books. You'll see them on the screen there. One's about finding deals. Another is about funding. And my first book right there, I wrote when I was in my 20s. It's about real estate investing in your 20s. Now, all of these books I'm going to give you on the next slide. This is like a, I don't know, $40 or $50 value. I'm just going to go ahead and give them to you on the next slide right now. I was nominated by Entrepreneur Magazine as Emerging Entrepreneur of the Year. I recently won the REI Impact Award because of all of the change that we're bringing to the real estate industry. And again, I love writing for Forbes and a lot of big publications like that. But it's not always been this great for me. You know, I suffered a life-altering injury at a very young age that changed everything. You know, in my early years, I was a rising BMX star. There's me right there. I got really good really fast because I followed the advice of industry leaders, right? What that really means is I got to ride every day with a gentleman by the name of Dave Mira. Does anyone know who Dave Mira is? Put it in the webinar box. He's the Michael Jordan of BMX. One of the, I think he's won more X Game gold medals than anyone else that's out there. And I got to ride with him every day. So you want to be good, you do what the good people do. But one crash completely and totally wipes me out. So my sponsors no longer sent me checks. I couldn't do what I loved. And, to be honest, I fell into a little depression. I got mad at the world. I went from traveling around the country and signing autographs to sitting on the couch and getting my cast signed. After I depleted what little savings I had, as a BMX rider, you don't really make any money. You're just doing what you loved. I was forced to take the very first job I could get. Some of you have been following me since 2005, and you know that I was in the dumps, unlike anyone else. My job position was literally dumpster diver. I was a dumpster diver. What that means is I would drive to all of the flooring store dumpsters, and I'd pull scrap pad out of it. That stuff underneath the carpet that all of the, pet urine leaks onto? That was me picking it up, recycling it. And I'd bring it back to a hot warehouse and put it in a baler. And actually, part of that story is in the Real Estate Investing in Your 20s book right there. So you'll see a number on the screen here. I want you to go ahead and text that, and I'm going to go ahead and send you all 3 of these books, plus some other gifts along the way. Anytime there's something super valuable, I'm just putting it all in a link that I'm going to give you right when you text that number. So screenshot this slide right now. This way you're not asking, hey, what's that number? What's that number? I mean, it gets annoying in the webinar box. So go ahead and screenshot this slide, write it down right now. So then I heard a quote that really stuck with me. Everyone is self-made, but only the millionaires admit it. And I realized at that moment that I was a self-made dumpster diver, and I had to stop blaming others. So I made the choice not to settle. You ever had a similar moment? Maybe, when you looked in the mirror and you thought to yourself, life was not supposed to turn out like this. I thought I'd be a little further along by now. I realized I needed a side hustle that I can do part-time while dumpster diving, because I couldn't afford to stop dumpster diving. I didn't have any extra money, where I can make some money and eventually live the life that I wanted, I thought I deserved. So I'd stop at Barnes & Noble on the way home and sit there smelling like a dumpster, sipping on their free water and reading books. I couldn't afford to buy the books, so I treated it like a library, because I didn't have any money, but I had 1 or 2 hours a day. And when I learned that 80% of millionaires made their fortune through real estate, that's all I needed. I went all in. And when I realized you can get into real estate without using any of your own cash or credit, or without a college degree, I was like, well, this is perfect, because I don't have any of that. I jumped right in and never looked back. Now it's crazy. A little over a decade later, my book is in Barnes & Noble, and I'm helping people have that same transformation. So here's my big secret though, right? My big secret to my success as a real estate investor is when I started. I started during an interesting time, right? During one of the last recessions, a little bit before one of the last recessions, where I was able to scale up, boom, and then I made so much money. But it's crazy how that crash, when I broke my leg, I twisted my ankle so far it broke my leg. I could actually feel the weight of my foot on my skin. So I had all sorts of plates and screws, and it was a very long road to recovery. But that crash changed the course of my life. And maybe this pandemic is that crash for you, right? That you look back on and you're like, it sucks I lost my job, or it sucks that my other business isn't doing well. But that's when I went all in on real estate and built a fortune in a short period of time. Now, because of a seemingly bad situation and the market timing, I made a fortune in a short period of time and used the money I earned from flipping real estate to start connected investors. I'd do a flip, give it to a web developer, do a flip, give it to a web developer. So this whole platform was built off the profits of real estate investing. It's really cool. And has since grown into the largest social network of real estate investors on the planet, and helps facilitate $5 billion a month in transactions for real estate investors. So you might be asking yourself, okay, Ross, I understand you're not a guru, then why are you doing a webinar? Well, maybe you saw this on Fox, but let me go ahead and pull this up, because there's a lot of news out there right now. I'm sure you're not paying attention to the good things. Connected Investor CEO, that's me, pushes toward $100 billion. We want to deploy this over the next 12 months. And I'm not going to use a pandemic as an excuse. This is a 3x increase on what we're currently doing, so we need to think outside the box. And when I sat down with my team, we were like, what if we gave the average real estate investor access to deal flow they've never had before? We'd be creating supply for our own funding. They'd be so happy that when they needed funding, they'd come to us and our platform for deals. So that's what we're here. That's what we're doing for you. And when I say we need to move billions, I just want to be very clear. This is not our funding. Just like Travelocity or Priceline Negotiator, we've pulled together all of the funding sources and allow you to connect with the right private lender, and they compete for your business. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Number one, I want you to go ahead and write this down. This is very, very important, and it's a big mind shift here. So pay attention because no one else is teaching you this. You ready? Look for data, not deals. Data always comes before the deal. There's a very predictable pattern every single time. And once I started to see this pattern, I got obsessed with figuring it out. Because once you figure out that pattern, you can see what others can't. You can beat people to the best deals, and you can make a lot of money. And does anyone know who this is? This is a common quote that people pull up all the time, but it applies very well right here. A good hockey player plays where the puck is. A great hockey player plays where the puck is going, right? This means you're not competing with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that watched a few YouTube videos. So data makes profiting easier, period, end of discussion. Data makes profiting easier in any industry, right? But in real estate, for sure. Having inside information is a huge competitive advantage. Does anyone know who this is right here? You know who that is? It's been a while now since this happened. That's Martha Stewart. She was able to easily profit because she had data not available to the general public. She was able to print money. And in the stock market, using data, inside information to profit makes you a criminal because they call it an unfair advantage. You're a step ahead. In the financial world, that's a no-no. In real estate, that's your job. So in real estate, using data, inside information to profit makes you smart and rich. Okay, smart and rich. What you're seeing on the screen there is we're about to bring our Harvard guy on. So it's completely legal to gather information not available to the general public and profit off this. That's what you're supposed to do. And that's what everyone's referring to as the fourth industrial revolution. Now, prior to the pandemic, the big fear in job loss was automation. Well, automation is going to have so many people losing their jobs. Yeah, it is. And that's still happening. But data is what fuels automation. Many entry-level jobs will just be wiped out. And you guys are in the middle of it. You're talking to Alexa and Siri. Data is the new currency. And automation is making people rich. Automation is making people rich. With what I'm going to show you, you can now grow a huge business without having to hire people, saving you so much money and brain damage because the automation takes over the small tasks that slow you down or you have to hire people to do. Now, the guy I'm going to bring on is going to give you some deep market insights to help you make important decisions. But know this, at the end of the day, after everything he's saying, what we're going to give you is a very straightforward way to capitalize on the economic anomalies based on your current cash position, experience level, and time commitment. All right, remember, using data and automation makes you rich and smart. So speaking of being rich and smart, I'd like to turn the mic over to a gentleman from my inner circle that Harvard brings on to host their State of the Union for real estate investors. This guy is a contrarian that always seems to be a step ahead, time the market just right, and makes a fortune no matter what the market is doing. He's more excited about building wealth right now in this market than any other market. He's one of the wealthiest people in my network, and we get along because we have a very similar story. He started out in a trailer park and has become what I consider real estate royalty. Now, while he's talking, I'll be watching the questions coming in. So feel free to chat me and let me know what you liked most about the first portion of the webinar, the introduction portion of the webinar. I'll do my best to answer. Also, our guest is going to give you so much great info. You're going to want to write it down, right? But if you just send a text to the number on the screen here, we've kind of got a summarized version of this for you. Okay, so without further ado, Dave, I know you're all mic'd up and the mic is yours.
I appreciate your friendship over the years, and I'm grateful to help you and the CI community. So without further ado, if it's okay with you, I'll launch into it. Now, as I think Ross mentioned, and many of you already know, I do something called the State of the Union for real estate investors and have for the last 15 years. On the right is me in 2005 speaking at Harvard, forecasting that the market was going to implode. And of course, I didn't get invited back for 3 years. And then finally, in 2008, I got invited back and announced that I was going all in Las Vegas. And as you can imagine, they thought I was nuts again. And so I didn't get invited back. And then in 2011, I did, forecasted that the market was at or near the bottom. And sure enough, it was. And boy, did we have a great run over the last decade. So I want you to have a great run over the next decade. So what are we going to talk about today? Let's start with that economic update. I want to first thank our research data and sources We have a lot of different sources that we either pay privately or subscribe to publicly, and we spend a fortune on research. What we learn are things that in some cases you know, but not with the level of clarity that we do. So for example, there were 55 million people, or 38% of the labor force, that had filed for unemployment. Unemployment rates range quite a bit. And if you look at it by state, you'd see that some states are impacted more than others. So we literally added 10 points of unemployment, which has never happened in the history of our economy. In terms of employment, I believe it'll bounce back next year, but after a disastrous this year. I believe that almost 20 million people will no longer be in the workforce at the end of the year, and roughly half of them will never return because they don't want to work. They've had so much fun, they can't take it anymore. Sound familiar? The number of households that are reporting lost income is nearing 50%. Think about that. If I'd ask you, could you ever imagine 50% of US households seeing a decline in income? You would have looked at me like I had two heads. And yet the lost income hasn't even peaked. It's continuing to lose. And lost income is skewed, as we probably know, mostly to lower income earners. But not everyone is left behind. Even those who are making 6 figures or 7 figures a year are being impacted, depending upon what they did to enter the year. You see, there are 2 points worth making here. The first one is really important, and the second one is more important. The higher your income, the least likely you are to have lost income. It's really ironic, but the top 1% of income earners in the US tend to be shielded from the kind of income loss that the rest of the folks are. Meanwhile, the number of Americans exhibiting signs of depression has actually doubled in 3 months. And the timeline for federal assistance is doubled as well. So at the end of the day, what is the Fed looking to do? Everything they possibly can. They are throwing everything at this. To remember those $1,200 or $2,400 checks or ACHs that you got into your account? The plan is for that to happen again. How about unemployment? Well, it would be extended into the first quarter of 2021. Mortgage forbearance, another $75 billion in assistance for that, and rent forbearance would get another $100 billion to extend rent forbearance into the first half, in fact, to the first half of 2021. Consumer spending is still down, but it has rebounded, and there's trouble ahead for companies in a lot of different sectors. You see, unlike the past, many different industry sectors are being impacted by COVID. And what's really easy to forget is just how many companies were already struggling before the pandemic. So what COVID did, is basically became the kiss of death for companies that were structurally impaired already. Now, as real estate investors, whether you know it or not, we've already become very familiar with deflation because the housing industry is cyclical. And I can tell you from experience, having studied the 3 previous cycles and forecasted the last downturn, that this means that every housing cycle we experience will have a deflationary spiral. What do I mean by that? Well, at the top, you have falling demand, which creates business losses, and then falling prices where businesses try to keep up by making a profit. Finally, they have to go through a layoff and wage reductions. Then they start to go into default on their debt, which leads to bankruptcies, falling tax revenue for the counties and the cities and the Fed, an increased real estate tax burden, and then it keeps spiraling. This is where we're in right now. Typically, industries experience the deflationary cycle at different times, but that's not the case this time. It's happening to nearly every sector at the same time. In the last 50 years, there's only been one period of deflation. Get ready for the next. We're starting it, we're already in it, and most people don't talk about it. Right now, both your revenue and your expenses are likely to decline for the remainder of the year. Many companies and consumers with debt will be forced into bankruptcy. So bankruptcy attorneys are going to start getting rich this year and next year. Home sales will fare better than rentals, but development's going to become increasingly more difficult, and the value of land is going to decline. Small, quick flips will outperform larger teardown projects. This is not the time to get into big projects. Okay, now let's talk about housing market. Pending sales are down, but they're rebounding. Active listings, though, are trending down. Furthermore, sellers are pulling homes off the market. So as a result of those things, resale supply is at the lowest level it's been in over 2 decades. Think about that. 20 years. Resale supply is at the lowest point. And that goes for new home supply as well. Listing median price as a result has been trending up when otherwise you wouldn't think that it would. It's 10% year over year. And median sale price, not the same as average listing price, is trending up since the onset of COVID and is up a marginal 3% year over year. But it is amazing that sales price continues to go up slightly. And the reason is that there's very little supply. Purchase mortgages, which are a leading indicator of the health of the economy, at least from a housing market standpoint, really did a V-shaped recovery and now are up 18% year over year. Affordability is up. Remember, affordability is a function of 3 things: sales price, interest rates, and income. Income is a really scary thing right now because some people have it, some people don't. So it's a mixed bag in terms of income. Interest rates are down, sales price is barely up. So as a result, the combination of those things, affordability is better than it's been for quite some time. And it's largely driven by mortgage rates. They're at an all-time low and likely to go lower before they go up. So how will my family capitalize in the next 12 to 18 months? The first thing is that we're focusing on short-term residential real estate. Why? Well, look at the 10 different subsectors that we evaluated here. Factories and plants, well, we know what's happening in slaughterhouses and other factories and plants in terms of COVID. Warehouses, they're great as long as you've got an Amazon that's flowing their product through you. Shopping malls. Have you been to one lately? Are you planning on going anytime soon? How about retail? When's the last time you went to a movie, or are you dining out as often? Yeah, we'd all like to get back out there, but are we feeling comfortable with doing so? How about office? WeWork was one of the darlings last year from an IPO standpoint, and they're falling apart. Facebook and Twitter and Stripe and a lot of other companies are announcing indefinite work from home. People have learned for 3.5 months now how to work from home. Hotels, when's the last time you stayed in one? Self-storage could be an opportunity there, but if people stop paying their rent payments or their mortgage payments, are they going to be able to afford their self-storage payments? How about multifamily? We already talked about it. It's overbuilt. And who would have thunk Airbnb? Airbnb was going to go IPO this year, and they've now not only had to stall their IPO, but laid off 25% of their staff. And when's the last time you stayed in one? Look at the change. By contrast, we believe single-family residential real estate is the subsector with the best risk-adjusted reward in the next 3 to 5 years. And within it, we believe short-term investing is best. Flipping, wholesaling, and lending. How about seizing distressed and foreclosure opportunities? You see, 5% of people can't pay their next mortgage payment, and 3% have already deferred through forbearance. And that's, again, with stimulus. What happens when stimulus stops? I'm anticipating there'll be a fair number of foreclosures going into next year. We're going to capitalize as eviction moratoriums expires and vacancies rise. The Fed can't continue to do this forever. They can't continue to require that landlords not accept rent from their tenants. So as that starts to expire, and it has, and as vacancy rise, and it will, we think there's an opportunity to capitalize. And there's a quote that I really, really love by Winston Churchill, when in 1944 he was right in the throes of World War II and things didn't look good. And he said, never let a good crisis go to waste. And whenever you watch this, if you do happen to catch the replay, if there is a replay, and I don't know if Ross is recording it, I can tell you this, that this crisis is going to have impact through 2020, through 2021, and our economy is not going to get back to 2019 levels, at least until 2022, maybe 2023. So this is the opportunity for you to capitalize. This is the opportunity for you to not let a good crisis go to waste. So I want to thank you. This is the end or the beginning, depending upon how you view it, but you get to choose.
Wow, that was so insightful to really understand what's actually happening and understand all of the cross currents and really where to be. This is why the rich get richer, because they have this type of data, this type of market intelligence, and that's what we're transferring over to you. That's why you're so smart for being here, right? Dave, right now, he's like a kid in a candy shop. He's so excited about the opportunities that are out there, and we get to kind of cheat off him. How awesome is that? We get to cheat off all of his information and just carbon copy his model. So just to kind of touch base on what makes this kind of the best market right now, these economic conditions that we couldn't manufacture if we wanted to. Listing prices up, sales prices up, mortgages are up, affordability is up, interest rates are down. This is really exciting. And even if these fall flat or drop a little bit in the wrong direction, with what we show you, being able to purchase at such steep discounts, it doesn't matter. Don't use that as any sort of an excuse. It doesn't matter if property prices drop 30% overnight. You're still going to crush it with the strategy that we're going to go over here. So now that you understand that this is the best market, let's go ahead and talk about the best strategy, right? We know that it's residential real estate because you need to be able to profit in these deals 2 to 4 weeks, social distancing, done from home, all upside potential, works from any location and works in all market cycles. You heard Dave say wholesaling. We're not talking about wholesaling here. Wholesaling is a kind of a portion of what we're talking about here, but that's the old way of doing it. That's slow and expensive. We're talking about micro flipping, okay? I'm gonna break down each step of micro flipping in logical order, but it is the most straightforward and profitable strategy right now. If you're brand new, this is what you're gonna be doing. If you're in the business for a while, this is gonna be a bolt-on for your business to accelerate anything you're doing. But first, it's important to understand micro flipping. What does micro mean, right? Micro flipping is fast, it's easy, it's a low risk, it's straightforward and relatively dummy proof. The micro does not mean low dollar deals. It doesn't mean you're buying $20,000 properties. You can micro flip a $10 million property. And just yesterday, I talked to my mentor. He's a multi-billionaire and he micro flipped a property and made $10 million on a micro flip, right? It's just insane. Doesn't mean small profits. Exactly. So once you see this strategy, you can start doing the small deals and get the small checks, but then there's no limit to the money that you can make. I mean, it's real estate. It's real estate investing on steroids, super fast, super automated, super streamlined. The word micro refers to the amount of time it takes to profit. And it's all about speed. It's all about speed in this market right now. So you want to be fast. You want to be fast. And no cash or credit is needed for micro flipping. It's 100% virtual. And like I said, it's relatively straightforward and very, very easy. So this is a fun little GIF right here, a little image. Micro flipping to me is like getting some points on the scoreboard, kicking that field goal, right? The tech that we're going to give you gets you for like the 5-yard line. So this is just a nice field goal, put some points on the board. Now, micro flipping, you might be saying, Ross, I don't need a strategy. I just want to automate my current strategy. That's fine. Because micro flipping just makes you the best at finding discounted properties not available to the general public. And this is really cool here, because let me just go ahead and just point out this. If you become really good at finding deeply discounted properties in this automated fashion that we're showing, I mean, your whole life changes. Because think about this, if you work for Domino's or Pizza Hut, right, if they're even still in business, right, because even companies like that are filing for bankruptcy, then you get pizza cheap, right? But if you're micro flipping, if you're in real estate, you get real estate cheap. The house that I live in was a probate property that sat vacant, and I got it for 50 cents on the dollar. So it's great to know how to get these properties cheap. So I just want to kind of bring that up. Now, micro flipping, the number one strategy based off all the data, based on the market, based on the opportunity. It is wholesaling using an end-to-end data platform that allows you to charge an assignment fee by connecting buyers and sellers of investment real estate. And you'll see right here, I'm going to show you this end-to-end platform that allows you to streamline the entire process faster than anything else. You don't need a huge marketing budget. It's fairly dummy proof. And again, it's very, very straightforward. There's easy mode and advanced mode. All right, so let me go ahead and take you through the steps. Right now, this is one of those things. I talked to the advanced investors a little while ago, and we're going to get more advanced with you in a second here, especially once I peel back the curtain on this. Now I'm going to bring up something for the newbies, so make sure to pay attention here. So in micro flipping, step number one is you select the property. What do you mean select the property, Ross? Don't I have to search? Don't I have to send out direct mail? Don't I have to hammer signs to, telephone poles? No, you are going to select the property. You don't search, you select. Then you control the property in a modern way using contracts, which I'll give you. Then you just fill the order. Oh, what's filling the order mean? It means you already have a buyer in place, right? You already have the buyer there. You already know what the buyer wants, and you're just filling the order. And this buyer is waiting for you to reach out to them. You're not bothering them. They're waiting for you. And then you cash the check. You can automate that however you want. We get to the point where actually going and cashing the checks is the most annoying part of the process, but it's still fun at the same time. Now, this is modern, this is fast, this is fluid, this is data-driven, but I don't want you to think you have to be a techie to do this. No pocket protector is needed. I can't even code. I'm not a coder at all, right? Actually, at my house, my wife does all of the technology and electronics. People are like, you own a technology company. You can't hook up an Apple TV? It's not really my forte. So even people that didn't grow up with computers, like Ray Ritchie, he's part of the 50 Flips Club. Let's see what he had to say about micro flipping.
It ain't a whole lot to put the contract together on a property and then flip it to an investor. That's fairly simple. Without this, it would take 2 or 3 times as much time to do it. Just one day a week, do this research and then just do the calling and all that kind of stuff. If I did 10 a year, that's $50,000.
Great job, Ray. Ray loves this stuff. He's never going to stop. He's in the groove, he makes money, and he has a lot of fun doing it. So now let's go ahead and talk about what I like to call weekend flips, because you heard Dave mention that doing fix and flips are okay as long as it's not a big teardown. So I like to call it the weekend flipper, right? This is flipping properties that are not in need of major repair to retail buyers. You know that supply is low, right? So if you're finding the properties, you're able to sell it very quickly. Now, we're not talking about getting a sledgehammer like they show you on HGTV. Guys, most of you have no business dealing with contractors any more than a carpet and paint type level, right? What we're talking about here with the weekend flips, primarily you're cleaning out the property, making it smell good, fresh coat of paint, maybe some new floors. That's about it. It's actually the funnest part of the whole thing. Now you might be saying, Ross, that's great, but how the heck am I going to find these high profit deals that are not in need of major repair? We got you covered. Right inside the new pin, you can search for all these different motivation types. There's a lot more as well. I'm going to show you. And then you can search by the repair level needed. So you don't have to look for properties that are in major repair. You can look for the ones that just need carpet and paint. It's all there, all delivered to you. And earlier I used the analogy of micro flipping being kicking the field goal. So the weekend flips is really like our technology puts you on the 5-yard line. You just got to pick up the ball and run, right? You still got to make the play. You still got to do the work, but you're not starting from the other end of the field, right? You're one play away from putting some serious money on the board, all right? You know where the property is. You can find the person. You can get the deal done. So, show me the money, right? Gotcha. Fortune magazine, the average gross profit, $58,000. For those of you who've been in real estate for a while, I'm sure you can remember how it felt to get that first check. Maybe it wasn't 58,000, right? Maybe it was less, maybe it was more, but your whole perspective and life changes once you get that first check, because you get like oxygen, right? It's like a breath of fresh air. You can finally do the things you want. You can finally see the path to financial freedom. You can finally see the path to retirement. For the new guys, your day is coming. Your day is coming, and it's coming faster than you realize, okay? So now listen, because I am both a real estate investor and the CEO of the world's largest network of real estate investors. I have a unique perspective on what's going on in the real estate market, unlike anyone else. Our platform is involved in hundreds of real estate transactions all around the US every month. And I can tell you this, there's a huge correlation between people who are successful in this business and get to cash those big life-changing checks and people that try and fail and run away with their tail between their legs. And you know what that is? The people that are successful are able to find deeply discounted properties. And this is what we're going to be covering over the next 30 minutes of this presentation. Understand this one fact. If you can't find properties at bargain prices, you don't need to worry about anything else. You don't need to worry about the economy or getting funding because nothing else matters if you can't find good deals. When you find good deals, all of your other problems, they just melt away because money follows opportunity. So this is the most important skill that you need to hone right here, right now. And this is what we're best at, teaching people how to do. So I was actually just sitting down with the CEO of a huge publicly traded bank. Actually, he just took a banking software public last week and just crushed it, right? These are the people that are in my network. Just sitting down with this guy. And I was showing him what we were doing. And he said, Russ, why would somebody sell their property for 50 cents on the dollar? Right? He's a banker. He's not a real estate investor. And there's only one way to get a good deal. And this is true in every market cycle. Do you know what that is? Financial motivation. Do you think there's some motivation out there right now? Do I need to bring up some more of Dave's stats on how many people are financially motivated right now? I mean, motivated people, motivated banks, motivated companies. You know, people always ask me, right? If the seller's not motivated in some way, you're not going to get a deal. So we're going to help you find those motivated sellers to solve a problem for them, help the country, and also make a lot of money along the way. And this is, guys, this is sad but true. And this is prior to COVID. Most Americans have less than $1,000 in savings, and 20% don't even have a savings account. People used to have savings. They can go to a family member or a neighbor. Now they don't. And things are getting more expensive every day. Have you noticed? Maybe you can relate, right? Job loss. Maybe you've had a health situation. A lot of those going on right now, huh? You have to take care of a loved one, a death in the family, divorce, been through a foreclosure. I mean, there's no shame in any of that. That's just what's happening in America right now. It's how you react that determines your future. And coronavirus will bankrupt more people than it kills. And that's the real global emergency right there. So that's why we're stepping in here. And I need you to really understand this. You get to help people and make a fortune. These people are literally praying for you, and you get to help them while growing your own future. You know, I can always tell when things are heating up because I get, you know, childhood friends reaching out to me, family members basically just cornering me, saying, Ross, I want to get into real estate. You own Connect Investors. What should I do? Where should I find deals? Should I go to the banks? Should I make offers on the MLS? I heard vacant properties are a good place to go. How do I find vacant properties? And how do I find the owners? I'm like, whoa, hold on. First thing I say is the lead source doesn't matter. Only the motivation does. Only the numbers do. So I pull out my phone and I show them PIN. And when I do, their jaw drops to the floor because they've just seen the biggest shortcut to financial freedom of their life. And the software is so easy to use. When I show them PIN, I'll just look at their face. And it's just so crazy to watch people see this and use this for the first time. And could you see yourself clicking some of these buttons, doing some searches? You're going to be doing that soon, right? This is how a newbie or the average person can compete with the big guys and win. This is how the big guys get crushed, or people who haven't updated their business model. So I want you to go ahead and chat us your answer to this. How much extra money would you make over the next 12 months if you can find properties for 50 cents on the dollar? How much extra money, right? We surveyed hundreds of thousands of real estate investors. Go ahead, how much, if you just had deals up to your eyeballs, 50 cents on the dollar, how much extra money could you make this year? Think about it. I'm actually going to wait for you. All right. Just throw a number out there. Yep. All right. So here are the answers. It looks like most people believe that they would make around an extra $100,000 this year. But what we did with these survey results, again, we decided to kind of look into who was answering them. And the highest earners said they'd be able to make over $1 million a year. And that's the truth. If you got the deal finding problem solved, all your other problems in life kind of go away. Now, it's not, the end all be all, right? You still have to work it. This is a business, but that is the most important part, okay? So whether you thought you'd make an extra 20, 50, 100,000, 500,000 a year, let's go ahead and show you exactly how to find these deals so you can put this extra money in your pocket. So pay close attention here. Forget Alexa, forget Siri. Imagine if there's a new device called Ross, right? And you can say, hey, Ross, find me an off-market property that's vacant in my neighborhood, that's in pre-foreclosure, has 50% equity, the owner lives out of town, the property is in good condition, oh, and include the owner's email address and find me a buyer and lender. Whoa, that would be like magic, right? Imagine for you, I know a lot of you guys on the call here have been in the business for like 10 plus years. In that survey I looked, so many of you have been in business for years. Years ago, you couldn't imagine this. I used to go to the courthouse, I used to get in my car, go to the courthouse, gas it up, and I sift through files. Man, it was tough, right? This is like the light at the end of the tunnel. But let me just translate this for someone who's brand new. Say, Ross, what the heck are you talking about? Remember, we have easy mode that basically just does all this stuff for you. But I want you to kind of understand. So when you talk to your friends and family about what you're doing, you have some insights here. So off market means it's just not on the MLS. That means low competition, which means higher profits. Vacant or out of town owner means the owner has no attachment. They don't care about the property, they're gone. Pre-foreclosure means the owner is financially motivated. 50% equity means there's an opportunity for a big check. Good condition means it's less expense to flip for you or the person that you're flipping to. Email address means it's easy to contact the person, right? I remember I showed this presentation to a CTO of a company, and he said, Ross, you're telling me that real estate investors send direct mail to vacant houses? That's a strategy that experts teach? I'm like, yeah. He's like, why would you send mail to a house that no one lives at? I'm like, listen, I get it, because it's the only thing that's available until we connected the people data with the property data. So email address, text message, easy contact. Private lenders lined up means it's money for the deal if you want to do the weekend flip without all of the begging or searching. And they're verified, they're real. And then buyer lined up, that's basically like money in the bank if you want to micro flip, right? So let me go ahead and translate this one more time on how a newbie might ask the question. Hey, Ross, find me a great deal on a property in my neighborhood that no one else knows about. Find an owner willing to sell at a big discount and put the whole deal together through email. Oh, and find me someone to pay me a lot of money for the deal. This is how you find those needle in the haystack deals. This is data layering. We talked about that earlier. This is how you find those deals that we call here slam dunk deals. Easy in, easy out. You got lenders begging to give you the money. You got buyers lined up competing for your properties. You're not riding to the courthouse, spending all this money on direct mail. You're just able to start making money. Are you starting to see how this is all coming together? Okay. And it's funny, Michael Jordan right here. And we both went to the same high school. My gym teacher was the guy that wouldn't let him join the basketball team. Remember that story? Now, could you imagine if Michael Jordan gave up? Thank God he didn't. But we're going to show you how to find those slam dunk deals for this to become a reality for you. And like I mentioned in the beginning, it almost seems like magic to the old school guys who are doing this the hard way. Right? Maybe you tried real estate and you missed your first slam dunk, right? Come on, now's the time, let's do this. Okay, now you might be asking, Ross, how is this even possible? Well, here's how it's possible. Each day we run advanced searches and an algorithm on over 1 billion data points of properties and people. So you know what that does? It creates a funnel of all of these potential opportunities and delivers you the best deal. We do all of the hard work. We get you on the 5-yard line. That's what I was talking about earlier with my football analogy. This allows you to find properties for a fraction of the retail price, and you'll start getting messages just like this. You can go in there and do a search and set it up to where you never have to log in again. They all just these deals get delivered to you in your email every single day. Deals that nobody else knows about. And again, this is how ordinary people can compete with the biggest, most well-capitalized investors in their town. It's like a deal finding GPS. Let me go ahead and show you what we do with all that data after we crunch it. We put it into something that we like to refer to here as the cash board, right? And take a look at this. It's exactly what you're looking for. And a lot of people have been referring to this as the real estate investors MLS or the pre-MLS. I'm going to give you a demo of this in a second, but you can do a search and just save that search. So let's say you have a buyer lined up. You can save your search as a buyer's name. And right when that property hits, bam, you get a notification. It goes right to your phone. Look at that. You can hit message the seller, and you can hit the get funding button right there. It's an end-to-end platform, people. This is the type of information that people have been trying to keep out of your hands. The board of realtors does not want this in the world. They've spent hundreds of millions of dollars, without exaggeration, trying to keep their monopoly in place, and they don't want you to have access to this type of data. But technology keeps poking holes in their armor, and we finally have all the data and the infrastructure we need to make this happen for you. And I'm going to show it to you and let you use it here in just a second. Now, just remember this. Data allows for the automation. It allows you to send a text, send a postcard, add deals to calendars, add it to a CRM, send an email, send the deals to your agent. If you're really advanced, you can even add these property owners into Facebook ads, right? So it doesn't matter what you're using. We can get the data out of our system into any other CRM that you're currently using. If you want it in Google Docs, we can do that. If you want it in a calendar, we can do that. Now, this is for the advanced members out there, people that are actively up and running. But I want the newbies to see what's possible out there. Could you imagine competing with someone that has this type of automation set up? You can't. Once it's set up, you're top in your town, right? Data allows for fast profits. You just can't be an active real estate investor in this world without data. You're dead in the water. If you're still doing deals in your market, you're one person away using this software from basically having your profits slashed. You'll blame it on the economy, right? You won't blame it on the fact that you didn't update your systems. You didn't have a reinvention, right? But that's what's happening. It's about adapting or dying. You can be a witness or a winner. There are predictable patterns, and data gives you all that. So, what we've learned about automation is you don't have to be smart if you're early. Automation beats manual labor every time, and automation is a good investment that saves you both time and money and allows you to earn more faster. So now it's time for me to show you PINv5. But before I do, I just want to quickly explain our evolution as a company. We constantly update PIN. And what I want to make sure you understand is our evolution and the fact that we take you along with us. Right? If you came in and bought PIN 1, guess what? We gave you PIN 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to give you 6 as well. So there's nothing else to buy here if you already have PIN. This is what we do. We keep making it better and better and better. We saw the opportunity for vacant properties, so we added that to PIN version 2. That was very important. Then we found more leads. We added that to 3. PIN 4, we wanted to have people data. So we added people data to PIN 4, and now we were up to 5 million records. Now what you're getting here today is PIN5. This is the complete system. And as things change, we keep updating this. As new data sources become available, we add it directly into PIN and you get it. So you don't have to worry about upgrading or paying extra for this or that. When PIN 6 comes around, you're going to get it. So we are going to help you all the way through as things change, as the economy shifts, as new opportunities become available. We get it all in the platform as fast as humanly possible so you can always have that competitive advantage. And then PIN 6 is practically like artificial intelligence. All right, so this is our evolution, but let's talk about your evolution. Let's listen to how Thomas has been using this data over the past few revisions.
Hey, Connected Investors team, this is Thomas Hillgardner. It's been about 8 months and just wanted to give you all an update on how my progress has been and what's been going on with my team. I've now closed over 34 deals. I've got 20 under contract. We're net profiting around $18,000, $20,000 a deal. That's in 24 different states. Just super excited about it. I couldn't have done it without you guys, and wanted to give you a shout out and say thank you again for all that you did, and looking forward to more. Thanks.
You know, Thomas grabbed this and ran with it, which is why his results aren't typical, because he actually followed the PIN method. He actually did what he said he was going to do, and his whole life has changed as a result. But I challenge you to do more than Thomas. There's no reason why you can't be more successful faster than Thomas based on when you're starting this real estate game. So let me go over some house rules. I got to say this, first and foremost, this is not get rich quick. I know you just said, Russ, you just showed me Thomas. He got rich quick. Yeah, I get that, right? That's the benefit of being in real estate, the millionaire maker, right? But really what I'm saying is this is not effortless earnings. You actually have to do things. My results and Thomas' results are not typical, but I challenge you to do better than us. There's no reason you can't. And there's no sneaky or misleading methods. We're going to give you access to some data that when my wife first saw this, she literally asked me if it was legal because of how much data we have on people. It's insane. So we have to make sure that you're working out win-wins, right? And not everyone is going to want to sell at a huge discount. So when I show you this, don't think that every single person is just going to give you that property. No. But what we're here to do is to tip the scales in your favor so some will sell at deep discounts. And that's all you need. You just need one. You're a few clicks away from your first deal. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump in to the demo. If you haven't yet sent this text right here to get the free books, the market report, and some other things we have coming up, go ahead and do so right now. We're going to give you a demo of the software. And while I'm showing you this, I want you to picture yourself in there using it. I want you to ask yourself, can I do that? So let's go ahead and kick it off. All right, so here's your dashboard, and it helps you find exactly what you're looking for. You can explore areas, find buyers, manage your prospects, and complete deals with Next Step Tech right here. You also have all your training, your contracts, and all of your scripts. So anytime I say, give them a call, send them a message, just know that we have all of those scripts for you and all of the training. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with easy mode by tapping right here. And you'll see the software knows exactly where I'm standing. And I mean, I'm just looking through some of these deals right here. Boom, here's a deal right here. They owe 60, it's worth 136,000. There's over $70,000 in potential profit in this one deal. Right next to it, this person paid 6,000, it's worth 88,000. That is $80,000 in potential profit. And this one right here, they owe about 114. It's worth $323,000. Let's go ahead and click on this one. You'll see, boom, there's a phone. Look at this. There's a phone number right there for this vacant property. And there's $323,000 in potential profit in this, which means they have it paid off. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and hit the heart button. I'm going to add this to my workroom, which I'll show you in a second, so I can come back to this and work it. But the first thing I want you to do when you get inside PIN is do a search and just save the search. Because when you save a search, you'll get email notifications when there are new deals that are available. And just know this, if you need funding, you just hit the get funding button and private lenders will start to compete for your business. So let me go ahead and actually do a search, and I'll search Wilmington, North Carolina. And you'll see, I mean, there are hundreds of potential deals right here. That's why I love easy mode. Let's go and hit the filter button. And I'm going to say, you know what? I just want to see the vacant properties in Wilmington, North Carolina. I can select all sorts of parameters here, right? I can say, I want to see if it's owned by a landlord or a flipper, residential, multifamily, all right? All of these different lead types here, which is everything you need. I can see the property grade, right? So grade A's are properties that have 50% equity, the big slam dunk deals. I can have the property show medium to high to low as far as potential profits, listing status if it's listed or not, and the repair level. We talked about those weekend flips. We have it right here. This way you can find ones that are in need of just minor repair, and then the out of town, the ownership status, if it's in town or out of town. So I just did a simple search here. Let me hit show the deals, and I'm just showing you this. So after I do this search, if I just hit save search, just like I did, that quick, that easy. Now what happens, anytime a new vacant property in Wilmington becomes available, bam, I'll get an email, right? And check this out. I'm going to hit list view. So I know some of you guys love list view. And here are all the deals right here, right? You can see all of the deals in list view. You can just go right through and skip trace. It's actually really fun. It's amazing just to see all the contact. Boom, got contact info for that. You can see all the information on the property, and you're off to the races. There are 1,500 potential deals here. I would sort by grade, and then I would add them into the workroom and set up an automation so they'd all get a text message or a follow-up email or something like that. Pretty cool, huh? Let me go and actually jump into your workroom, because you can see as you start moving deals into your workroom, here are your integrations. This way you can add the text follow-up. You can go ahead and add the auto emails. You can add anything right here. You can have these deals flow out of Connected Investors directly into a Google Doc, directly into a CRM. It's all done right here with the integrations tab. And then this is your next step tech, how you manage your whole business, how you move a deal from a lead to an inspection, to an offer, to a closing, and then you relist it to sell it. And in each of these, I don't have time to get into it, but you can see exactly what to do, what the next step is for each of these steps. It guides you through the entire process. So jumping back over into the main dashboard, that's easy mode. And it's really that easy. Remember, you get in, you do some searches, you save them into your workrooms, and you set up the save searches. This way, you never ever miss a deal. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into advanced mode. Now, when I move to advanced mode, you're going to see we can do some crazy slicing and dicing of this data. Okay, so let's go ahead and search for Phoenix, Arizona. Right? I can search by a zip code, a county, or a neighborhood. I can get that granular if I want to. Now I can see the types of properties. I can say I want single family, or I can say, hey, listen, I just want townhouses, or I just want mobile homes, or I don't want mobile homes, right? So you can decide what you want right here. If you want multifamily, vacant land, right? Apartment complexes or mobile home parks. Now, you have to choose if who it's owned by. Is it owned by a investor? This is more or less a private lender. If it's owned by a person, just an average everyday person, I'm going to select that. If it's owned by a company, a bank. Now the motivation, I can go ahead and select all these different motivation types. So I can say, I want something to be vacant and it's vacant and in pre-foreclosure. This way it has to be both vacant and in pre-foreclosure to show up. Make sense? Which is a great motivation stack. This is layer by layer to find the best deals. But let's say you want vacants or pre-foreclosures. You would click the or button right there. I just want to make sure that that's very clear for you so you understand exactly how to use that. So you can see how you can have fun here. Again, you can save these searches. So you can make it so you get notifications, which means integrations happen. And now you can do ownership type. So you can say, hey, I want an out-of-town or out-of-state owner. I want someone that's free and clear. I'm looking for someone that's known as a landlord or a flipper. I want to only find people that purchase properties with cash or use private money. I want to look for people that have contact data present. Someone who had an expired listing, something along those lines. Then you can also jump into property attributes. So you can say the retail value, I want it to be, a minimum of 50,000, a maximum of 500,000, right? So you can get this all set up, bed, bath, square footage, years. If it has a carport, a garage, a pool, if it's on a sewer, how many years it's been owned. Okay, actually I missed some things. The land size, the equity percentage, how much equity they put down from a dollar amount. So did they put $50,000 down toward their property? Down payment, interest rate. You can see their interest rate. If it's new construction, and you can also search by repairs needed, which is really important when you're micro flipping or wanting to do those quick flips that don't take a lot of repairs. All right. So you can see how you can really slice and dice this data, and we're constantly adding things to this. Let's go ahead and do a search, and let's see what we come up with. Wow. There's a lot of probate properties out here that you can reach out to, and you can skip trace them right here, and you can scroll down and see we have pages and pages of potential probates, 2,266 probates. Now what I would do is I'd select this button, which selects essentially all of the probates. I would save them to my prospects, and I'd have the automation take over. Now let's go ahead and let's go and do another search. Are you guys liking what you're seeing here? Could you see yourself using something like this? Are you starting to understand how a newbie, someone who's brand new, can jump into real estate with this software and absolutely dominate because they don't have to do any of the hard work, right? It took so much to get to this point, over 15 years of development to be able to bring you something that's this fast and this easy. Let's go ahead and do another advanced search. I'm going to remove these filters. See how fun and easy that is? That's good stuff. The UI of this is just killer. Now let's go over to Tampa. Let's go to Tampa, Florida. And let's go ahead and look for vacant properties, ownership type, out of town, out of state, and let's see if we can find any listed properties or not. All right, do a search. Boom. Now these are all listed properties. And the reason this is important is because now you can just make offers on these properties. You can just make lowball offers on these properties at scale because they're all listed. I would go right in here and sort by the grade of the property. So we're looking for the A+ deals first. These are ones that have no mortgages on it. Look at this. This property has no mortgage on it, and it's just sitting there vacant with an out-of-state owner. This is a huge opportunity. As you add each of these, it's layer by layer to find you the best of the best. The deals that can change your life, that can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars in one swoop. And again, you have your workroom to keep you organized, all the contracts and everything you need to succeed as a real estate investor right in this platform. Now let me show you one more thing that is really cool that I wasn't planning on showing you, but you got to see it. All right, I'm going to jump over to Atlanta, Georgia. And in Atlanta, what I'm going to do, gosh, there are so many deals in Atlanta. I mean, just look toward the A in Atlanta, 547 deals. That's why it's so important to be able to slice and dice the data so you can find just the best motivated deals. I mean, this property right here, my gosh, they owe about $13,000 on it. It's worth $235,000. I got to click on it. I got to see what we have here. 4-bed, 1 bath. Let's go ahead and skip trace it. There's the contact info right there. There is hundreds of thousands of dollars of equity in this one vacant house that's just sitting there, dying for you to reach out to and buy. So let's take it a step further here. Let's go ahead and hit the filters, and let's just look for all of the flippers. Show me the deals. These are the flips that are taking place in Atlanta. So it's really cool to be able to see, to get intel on what other people are doing. Do you guys like that? And when you click on these little icons, you can see exactly how much they made on each flip. You'll see this investor right here made $118,000 in gross profit on that one deal. So how nice is it? You have one platform where you can see all of the potential investment opportunities, and you can see all the flips and landlords as well. So you can find the deal, you can find the buyer, you can match it up, and you can make some money. PINv5 is the pre-MLS. Trying to make money as a real estate investor without the pre-MLS is like trying to be a real estate agent without access to the MLS. You either have it or you're not in business.
Hey, Ross, can I interject for just one moment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, this is really incredible. I mean, whether you're seasoned or whether you're starting out, everything you need is right here to get started. And the greatest thing is, if in conjunction with Fund and Grow, it's just a powerhouse of tools to be able to be successful.
Yeah, thanks. We've been working really hard on it. And what's great is this accelerates any strategy that you're currently, implementing. I learn a lot from you as well. And, your students can tie this right into what they're doing with you and be up and running quick. We have a lot to cover. Let's keep moving. All right, you've just seen the future of real estate investing. You understand how to micro flip, find deals, private lending, and buyers all in one end-to-end platform. But this guy right here is going to stay on the webinar until someone beats him. He has the record of doing the fastest micro flip. Basically, after getting involved in this program, he made money so fast. Take a look at this.
It was like the second day that I had PIN. When I went through it, I went ahead and did it was a vacant home search. And sure enough, I had about 10 or 12 pages. I was really amazed because you had contact information. That's always the hardest thing, finding the contact. Quite a few of those, so I went ahead and filtered those. And then when I exported them, I got just a list. It was about 10 pages long. So I printed it, an associate friend of mine, and I started calling. And midway down, I meet this gentleman answers. And that same day, he signed the contract. Well, actually, no, I take it back. He took the contract home, and he signed it the next day. And then after that, I sold 4 or 5 more properties. It was pretty incredible.
All right.
Got on my closing. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Deals that I sold on Connected Investors through PIN.
So I challenge you to beat Adam and be the new face of the fastest flip on the Connected Investors webinar. You are literally just a few clicks away from having access to this data. And coming up, we're going to allow you to search your market. So I just have to admit here, right? I think you can agree that what I just showed you is world-class and in a league all of its own. But we are learning together, and we're always making improvements. You've seen how we went from pin 1 all the way to pin 5, and we're working on pin 6. So we're learning and growing together here. And I want to help you, and I love the help that many of our members give us. They want cool new things, we had them. That's what it's all about here at Connected Investors. Now, before I open the doors for you to start using and searching inside PIN, I just want to show you the buyers, right? Because this is the money part. This is how you can quickly make money very quickly. So let's go ahead and just talk about this. Buy orders. This is your shopping list. These are verified people that are telling you exactly what they want, where, and giving you the opportunity to feed them deals. You don't have to build a buyer's list. We have the buyer's list for you. These are verified buyers with money. We underwrite these people. Okay, we make sure they have experience and they have the funds to get deals closed. You get to see their buy box, so you know exactly what to shop for, and your deals flow right into their hands, and money flows right into your hands. Let's go ahead and listen to one of our CI buyers.
So we bought 40-some thousand houses in 18 months. For us, we'll just ride it out, right? We'll buy a good deal, and as long as rents don't compress, which I don't feel like they will. They haven't historically in recession. We're going to be just fine. Probably put 15 under contract today.
That guy has unlimited capital and is waiting for you to send him deals. All right, so let's go over exactly how to send deals into our buyers network. You just key in the address, or you take a picture of the property. Step 1. Step 2, add the price. Step 3, make money. Watch the offers roll in. Now this is the hard part, okay? You have to choose which offer to take, and I suggest you take the highest offer, okay? You take the highest offer, whoever can close fastest, right? These are real estate investors with a track record of success. This is wholesaling, modernized, it's micro flipping.
Russ, sorry to interrupt you again, just real quick.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it. Hey, jump in whenever.
You know, Russ, it's literally just like the picture on the screen. I mean, it's like seagulls on fries, and that's how the market has been. You really need an edge and an advantage in order to be successful, but the market swings. And you know, here we're swinging back. And if you want that competitiveness, I really recommend using PIN. By the way, I mean, I can't believe that you created the first verified buyers network. I'm curious, like people on the call, how did you do that?
You know, this was that's a really tough question to answer. Really, a lot of really hard work. But when we saw Wall Street come in to the place and start wiping out mom and pops, we knew we needed to pull everyone together and create a full buying network of local real estate investors to take on the big guys. And we've been hard at it for a long time, and this is the world premiere, right? So here's our buddy Aaron. Aaron thought that he couldn't do this in his area. But after uploading his property, a cash buyer came out to see it, made an offer that same night. He accepted, they closed. I made close to a $5,000 assignment fee on the deal. Closed in a week. That fast, that easy. Now, here's Sean. He found and sold the property, both using the Connected Investors and PIN platform. Let's listen to what he has to say.
So what I did was I literally went back into PIN, and within a very short period of time, got like 12 or 13 deals, all out of PIN. I put them back into Connected Investors to market those properties, which I usually don't always do that. And I just really forgot. Like I said, Connected Investors is your one-stop shop, guys. And I'm not just saying this. I mean, this is real. Sold that deal last week. The other 11 deals have all been sold as a bundle package.
Great job, Sean. You know, what was interesting about him is he actually bought PIN 3 and forgot about it for a while until he saw one of our commercials. Then he jumped right in and he did like 11 deals in no time. But what you just witnessed is wholesaling using an end-to-end data platform that allows you to charge an assignment fee by connecting buyers and sellers of investment real estate. That's what Sean did. That can only happen with PIN. This is automating many of the hardest aspects for you, saving you so much time, I think you'd agree, and so much money, and giving you predictability because you know who's going to buy your property. You know around how much they're going to pay for it. You got easy mode and advanced mode, and everything is all with one login. So let's talk about what you've accomplished, because we've come a long way here. You now know what to do in this market and why. Before this call, you had no idea. You didn't have Dave Steck, right, giving you all the insights. You have a plan to make money quickly, laid out for you. Very simple and straightforward. You can find bargain deals that others cannot. You can actually buy them to live in if you want. If you got enrolled in this and just did nothing but use this software to find a property to live in, bam, you're stepping into 50% equity. You can now save thousands of hours of work with the automation. You can save thousands of dollars a month in different costs, in data costs, in skip tracing costs, in operational costs, in employees, and all that other stuff. You know how to automate the hardest parts, and you can now create predictable income. That was my part of this whole thing, was to bring this to you, right? The search is over. You know how to find high profit, off-market deals in your town, motivated private money partners, and verified real estate buyers. So let me just ask this question one more time, right? How would your life have been different for you if your family went all into real estate, your parents did during the recession of their lifetime? Again, it would have been, your whole life would be different. Everything would be different. Your kids' lives would be different. Brothers and sisters, everything would be different if someone in your family just stepped in. But again, it was so much harder back then. They had to manually do everything. I don't blame them for not doing it. But with what's happening in the market right now, and with the security that you need to make sure you're laying out for your future generations, for your friends and your family, again, it's irresponsible not to take advantage of this opportunity right here, right now. So what I needed to do was lay everything out. What you need to do is decide if you want an automated real estate investing business in this climate. And if you're still on the line right now, I know the answer is yes. Now you need to decide if you want me and my team to help you. Could you imagine trying to compete with someone who had access to that? Does this put you further ahead? Does this finally get you off the sidelines and into actually doing deals? That's how our team can help you. And I can help you in a lot more ways as well, which I'm going to lay out. So in just a few slides, you're going to be able to search your town. I just want to explain what you're going to see here. You can go right to the website I'm going to show you. You can type in your city. And you can also click that little filters button there, and you can see some of the filters and play with the UI. So you're going to be able to search your town and enroll. Now, there's several different accounts to choose from that will meet your needs kind of financially and functionally, but every account includes nationwide access, the full country, private lenders, advanced and easy mode, real-time updates. This is all updated real-time. Property alerts. Remember that, where those deals are just coming to your inbox? Property valuations, and then a mobile app. And you get all of the motivated seller data right here. Everything you see here is included no matter what account you choose, and also access to buyers. You're going to get the flippers, the landlords, the wholesalers, the cash buyers, and the CI buyers. So as you're making your decision on what account you want, just know that everything comes with it. So let me explain how you can get started and how I made this so easy and so straightforward for anyone that wants to start making money or scale up their real estate investing business right here, right now. First and foremost, I want to make sure you understand the micro flipping model. So included with all accounts, you're going to get a full training on how to find, evaluate, and micro flip properties for fast profits. This is online training, second to none, step by step. Do this, do that, get paid, repeat. Do this, do that, get paid, repeat. So since this is the launch of PINv5, I'm really bringing it here, and I'm going to give you some very valuable bonuses as well. So bonus number 1 is 4-tier legendary support. Let me just get clear here. You get live chat and phone support. So however you want to talk with us, we're here. You also get data dork support. All right, for you guys who love the data and you have a crazy question about why is this data showing up? We have our actual data scientists on the phone with you, making sure if you have a complex question, we get your questions answered. No one else does this. And you're also going to get weekly group coaching that takes you through everything step by step. This is a $1,200 bonus or more, especially with that weekly group coaching. Now listen to this. Because you're here, because you're on the webinar, directly after you get PIN, we are going to call you. This is proactive support. We have a huge financial interest in getting you up and running very quickly because we want to potentially fund your deals. So what's going to happen is you're going to get a call from either Megan or Kaylee or Steven or Austin or Olivia or Doug or Junior or Morgan or Devin or anyone who's on our customer support team, and they are going to get you up and running fast so you know exactly what to do. It's funny, right before I did this presentation, I got this message from Megan. She said, I just got off the phone with a customer, and she said, you're Megan. Ross mentioned you in one of his videos, and he said you'd call to get us up and running. Guys, listen, we have an amazing customer support team here that is dedicated to your success. So no one's left behind. we push as hard as we can to help you get to that first deal, that first contract. All right. So this is a $3,000 bonus, and this is the CI Buyer Certified Network. So if you haven't yet done 10 deals, this is great because you can sell to our CI buyers. If you have done more than 10 deals, then you get to become a CI buyer and deals get delivered directly to you. So think about this. If you're brand new, this is where you want to get to. If you're up and running already, this is a fantastic way to get deal flow from other real estate investors, from asset managers of banks, and from the pre-REO inventory that we talked about earlier. We're out there building relationships with banks to help them liquidate their COVID foreclosures directly into our network. But you have to be a verified CI buyer to deal with these banks because they don't want to deal with tire kickers, right? But this is your progression. You start off new, you do a few deals, you become a CI buyer, the whole world gets good. Let me talk to you about another huge competitive advantage here. Remember the old way of doing real estate? Well, forget that. Bonus number 3 is worth over $4,800, and it's free skip tracing for all of your records. We're talking about phone numbers and email addresses at no additional charge. Now, if you go anywhere and see how much does a skip trace cost, you can pay up $10 a search, 25 cents a search. Either way, you got to pay like $500 or $1,000 a month if you want to get it down to 2 cents a search. If what we're offering here was nothing other than skip tracing, then it would be worth every single penny of what it costs to enroll. But this is free because you're on the webinar. Now, disclosure, not all properties have contact info, and some of the contact info is incorrect. Okay, that's just how it goes across the board. But enough of them are correct for you to make a lot of money with this and connect with people in a modern way so you can flip properties just using your cell phone with no marketing cost. Get excited about this. You don't want to miss this bonus. All right, and here's bonus number 4, worth $597 a year. This is the Contract Genie app. If you're saying, Ross, what contracts do I use? We have you covered with the Contract Genie. This is like having an attorney over your shoulder helping you fill out contracts step by step. It gives you little notes. There's a different contract for every single state. So just know that every contract in here is good for your state. Never use sample contracts. Use the Contract Genie. Not only does it have all of your purchase and sale and assignment style contracts, you can also create your LLC. You can get your will set up, and there's all the partnership contracts you need there. Just to name a few, one of our members actually used it to set a prenup up. So we have everything you need for all of these different property types inside the Contract Genie. So contracts are no longer an issue. Now, this is bonus number 5. This is a $1,200 value. This is the next step tech. This is what guides you through each and every step of the real estate process. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. You can see it right there on the screen. This allows you to move faster, stay on track and stay organized, make less mistakes, and have guidance through all of the steps so you can run and scale your real estate investing business. We're going to make sure you get this because I know you need it. So let's go ahead and talk about what it takes to get involved in PINv5. Now you have 2 accounts to choose from. You have the business account. The investment for the business account is $29.97. You get 60,000 records of deals. You get 3 accounts. So you get 3 different people can log in. You get all the automations you saw. And yes, we are going to include the bonuses. So for someone who's up and running with a team, you're going to want to go with the business account. Now, the personal account, you get 10,000 records. You get 1 account, so you only get 1 login. We will give you all of the automations, and you will get all of the bonuses. Now, let me just tell you something. The automations will only automate the number of accounts records you get. So you can have 10,000 records go through the automations. So this right here is $1,997. When one deal more than covers the investment you're going to make in this account, you know it's an absolute no-brainer to get up and running. If you're an advanced investor, this is just the best money you're going to spend because you're going to save more than that money on the skip tracing, save more than that money on the data, save more than that money on having to build a buyer's list and do all of that stuff. So it's instant savings if you're already up and running, and you get to use the software. If it's not for you, we have a money back guarantee. Okay, so if you're actively investing, there is literally no reason in the world not to go ahead and jump in there. Now, let me go ahead and talk about something that we're doing special because you're here and because we're launching PIN5. So as you know, we're pushing toward $100 billion. So the real money for us and what makes our company valuable is facilitating funding for real estate investors. So we're opening up a special for those who are on the call. I do have to say this. Once this webinar comes down, if you want what I'm going to show you here, you can't get it, right? You'll only have access to this account. You have to pay $2,000. But because you're here and because of the facts on the screen, for the personal account, we are going to give you 2 accounts. So we've just doubled the amount of logins that you get to your account. And the reason I wanted to do this is because real estate investing is so much more fun with a friend, right? Imagine you and a buddy, instead of getting together watching, I don't know, whatever you guys watch or doing whatever you do, you jump in and do some real estate together. You and your spouse, you and your son, you and your daughter, you and your friend, however it is. So now you can gift them, the gift of financial freedom right here with 2 accounts. That's a $1,997 value. We're going to give you 40,000 records. Now remember, that's also 40,000 skip traces a month. So we 4x'd the number of monthly records that you get. So this is more than enough to make a lot of money. And we're going to give you $500 off the $1,997, making your investment only $1,497. Go ahead and visit the website address on the screen right now. See across the top of the screen? Visit that website address right this second. Now, when you go to that site, you can search your town and you can enroll, right? You can see how many deals there are. You can start playing with some of the filters and you can get up and running really quick. Plus, it lays out absolutely everything you're getting from the top to the bottom. If you're on mobile, if you're looking at this on your mobile phone, if you swipe left to right, you'll see more features, right? There's so many things, it's such a long list. So there's left to right swipes, but go there on your desktop computer, right? Go to the website address on the screen right now, search your city, check out the filters and enroll right here, right now. And Jerry sure was happy he enrolled. He does a flip a week. He said, being able to contact motivated sellers directly allows me to flip a property every week. Not having to pay for data saves me over $3,000 each month. Remember, I talked about you saving money and making money. Now he was already up and running. He saw this and he's like, no brainer, I'm in, and he hasn't looked back. So visit the website address on the screen and make the investments. Now, Jerry, prior to this, he kept getting beat to the best deals, right? He noticed his real estate business was declining. He couldn't move fast enough to deploy the capital that he had. So that's why he enrolled in PIN. Now he gets to travel around the world and live the lifestyle that you see on TV, really. So really what I love about this is the only thing you need. You get to thrive during these uncertain times. Once you have this, if the market goes up, great. If it goes down, who cares? You do even better. Again, if you ever sat there and just looked in the mirror and thought, things should be better by now, you have to do something different. Do something you've never done before to get the results that you've always wanted. And stop making the excuses. These little shifts can make huge financial impacts over the course of your life. And all you need is $1,497. That's it. Visit the site. Right now is the best it's ever going to be. So let me just explain this. And I have some more cool things to show you while you guys are on that site. But I want to go ahead and point this out. This is what your competition is doing. All right. Your competition is spending big bucks sending direct mail. They're overpaying for their deals. They're paying money to do skip traces. If they're smart enough to try to text or email, they have to pay every time. They're frustrated with lists that they buy because lists die the second you buy them. They're outdated. They're hard to work with. They're hanging bandit signs. They're begging for money. They're slowly building a buyer's list. They're relying on manual labor, and they're going to miss this opportunity while they're out there swinging hammers, right? They're probably doing the big rehabs. They didn't see the updates that you saw, and they're going to get stuck. Now you, people that have PIN, you're sending text messages. You're finding bargains. You got free skip tracing. You're using software that updates. I want to just make sure you understand this. Like, if you buy a list, once you buy that list, if something changes with that record, you don't know it. If you buy a vacant property list, the property's not vacant anymore, you don't know it. With our software, you know it. They're hanging bandit signs, you're hanging sold signs. You're begging for money, you're having lenders beg you. You have instant buyers, you're relying on automation, you're capitalizing big, and most importantly, you're cashing checks. Again, would you ever want to do things the hard way? If you've been on the sidelines for a while, right? You haven't gotten into real estate or you haven't scaled up because you're like, man, I don't really know. I feel like I'm missing something. You were missing something. You were missing something big time. You were missing this. You were missing the automation. You were missing the cost savings. But now you can visit the site on the screen and get up and running very, very quickly. Without PIN, you got a heck of a maze right now. Most people don't make it through that. With PIN, you got a straight line, start to finish, baby. There you go. So PINv5, I'm telling you, and this is for those that have the old models. And for people that are just getting in, again, it's so awesome that you're starting right here in this economy. Because remember, all of my success at 18, 19, 20 years old, sure, you know, I was hustling. You know, I'm a C student, right? You've probably seen spelling mistakes on the presentation here, right? I'm not super analytical, but I was able to get in at the right time and ride that wave. And now you get to do the same thing. And for those of you that are using the old models, you're working on your swordsmanship, right? This is a funny PDF. You guys ever seen this before? Indiana Jones? There you go. Here's the old investor working on their swordsmanship, and the new investor just has new tools. They're going straight to the deal, making it happen, right? Now let me do something here. I'm going to break this down for you. And after you listen to this, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. When you break down your investment, it breaks down to a little over $4 a day, right? Between $4 or $5 a day. So let me ask you this question. Do you have $4? Did you have $4 yesterday? Did you have $4 a year ago? Do you believe you'll have $4 5 months from now? Yes, of course you will. You don't want to miss this opportunity over $4, right? You don't want your kids being like, dad or mom could have made it, but they let $4, they didn't buy a login to PIN, and now we're stuck on the tough side of things. We don't have steady cash flow. We don't live the lifestyle that we deserve. And I mean, it's just, that's what's happening out there right now. There are lines being drawn. You're on one side or the other. And the $4 gets you PIN. And you get PIN, you log in, and you can find deal after deal after deal after deal. Now, the next person I'm going to show you was the son of a real estate investor, right? When I talked to him, I didn't realize how he'd been so successful so quickly. This young kid, I don't even remember how old he is. He said, I completed 40 transactions and profited over $440,000. I truly enjoy being an investor and I look forward to more growth. His parents were real estate investors. Now, Robert here, he was actively doing deals. And he said, man, I already have systems. Why do I need PIN? And then he saw it and he's like, oh, that's why I need PIN. So there's a good chance that you can cancel a bunch of subscriptions you have after getting up with PIN. We're seeing people do that time and time again. We're seeing a lot of people that have a lot of crappy software getting very desperate right now, practically giving their crap away because PIN is just dominating them. So I want you to visit the website address on the screen because these are the webinar only bonuses here. This is a $10,000 bonus package where you get the extra account. You get 4 times the records. You get free skip tracing. You get CI buyers. You get Contract Genie. You get Next Step Tech, and you get that legendary support. Remember, you're going to get a phone call within 24 to 48 hours after you buy from Megan or Steven, from people right here at Connected Investors, making sure you know what to do, right? You can chat us, you can call us, but we're going to proactively reach out to you as well. So again, once this webinar is over, this bonus package goes away. And what that means is you're getting way less accounts and you don't get CI buyers. So you don't have that buyer network built in. You got to go build that out. You don't have Contract Genie. You don't have anything to organize you, and we can't dedicate time with you, right? Because our customer support can only work with so many people. Our weekly coaching, which we do 3 times a week, we like to keep those, small, so we can give each person the attention they need. So that's why you need to visit the website address on the screen right now. All right, I know a lot of you guys are jumping in, and just congratulations. I'm so excited for you because life is going to change as long as you implement here. This is the answer. Now you have to do the straightforward, very simple work to make it happen. Let me ask you this question. What's more important to you? Time or money? Time or money? You might say, well, Ross, depends how much time and how much money. Well, it's almost a trick question here because an investment in automation is the only investment that saves you both time and money and can make you money. And you're making an investment in automation. You're making an investment in your future. You're giving yourself a competitive advantage. You have that data, that inside information, which if you were in the stock world, you'd be thrown in jail like Martha Stewart. But in the real estate world, you get to become a multimillionaire like Dave Steck. So go ahead and visit the website address on the screen right now. Again, it doesn't matter what you answered because automation is going to get you set up with both. So actually, let me just say this. As you start making money with this automation, right, and you have all this extra time, you can go ahead and reinvest all that money back into real estate. Reinvest it all back and build as fast as you can. Or you can take a portion of that, go have fun with it, and reinvest the other portion. You can pay down high interest rate bills you have. Do a deal, pay off a credit card. There you go. But you need to just change your thinking on what you're spending money on. This is an investment. And as an investor, you need to be making investments that save you time and money. That's how you have that calm life. That's how you have those easy mornings where you wake up and you're fine. You know, the automation is happening, money's coming in, you have all the buyers you need, you don't have to do all that hard work, and you can just go print as much money really as you like. So maybe you want a Rolex, right? Let me go ahead, I'm gonna log back into PIN, and I'm gonna show you how to get money for a Rolex or a stack of cash like that, or how to generate more money. I just wanted to jump back into PIN, into the pre-MLS one more time and do a search for Austin, Texas. All right, let's see what we got. Austin, Texas. Gosh, I mean, zoom in, look into the screen, lean in. You can't even see the word Austin because there are so many potential opportunities there. There's 33,470 deals just in the center of Austin of highly motivated sellers that would potentially sell at deep, deep discounts. And all it takes is one. All it takes is one to make your investment in PIN an absolute no-brainer. Let's go ahead and click the list view here. This way you can go ahead and see all of the opportunity lined up straight down the page here. You'll see this one has almost $1 million in equity. This one right here, $171,000 in equity. All right, so here are the 6,153 properties that are available right in and around Austin, Texas. You can select them all, you can export them, you can start working them, you can have automation take over. But let's just take a look at this, right? The equity in these properties, nearly $1 million in equity. That's potential profit for you. $284,000 in profit. These people have plenty of meat in the bones, so they can sell the property with plenty of margin for you to get in there and make some good money. And if you want to contact this person, you just hit the skip trace button. Let's do this together. And let's see if we can find Jack Freeman's contact info. There it is, right there. Phone number and email address. It's that easy, it's that fast. And these are all of the different motivated seller leads in and around Austin, the probates, the vacants, the motivated for sale by owners, the online auctions, the courthouse auctions, the pre-foreclosures. And you'll see there is hundreds of thousands of dollars in equity just sitting here. So do you need to save up for your retirement? Just do this deal right here. There's $400,000 in potential profits. That gets you pretty close to where you want to be. You have a family member you have to take care of? Well, here's a deal with $160,000 in potential profit, $144,000 in potential profit. You want to go on a vacation? You want to pay off your house? You want to build a legacy? Here's a deal with $1.5 million in potential profit in someone who is motivated to sell in one way, shape, or form. And you can skip trace the individual, find them right here, and start doing these deals. And I'm just so excited for you to see this right here. So I don't know what a better use of your time would be than to get in here and start working these deals, because it only takes one. Just remember that. Out of all of these deals that we're scrolling through here, it only takes one. And again, this column is all of the potential profit that could be made on these deals, just in one town. Just in one town. So let's go and jump back into the presentation. All right, guys, it doesn't get any easier than that. Again, both of the accounts right here come with everything you need. At the website address on the screen, you can see exactly what you're getting. I do have to say this one more time, so I don't want to get a bunch of emails, people yelling at me. This bonus package right here is for people that are on this webinar right here only, and it will come down very, very soon. Once this webinar is down, then it's over, okay? Our sales guys can't get you in, so no matter what, you need to go ahead and make the investments right now if you want the extra account, which I strongly suggest you get because I want you to be investing with a friend. If you want 4 times the records, it's 4 times the money. If you want the free skip tracing, that's going to save you so much money. If you want CI buyers, that's how you liquidate. Contract Genie to make sure you have the contracts for the right state. Next Step Tech to make sure you always know what to do, and the legendary support that we offer here at Connected Investors. Visit the website address on the screen and get this $10,000 bonus package. If not, you can still get involved in the future, but you're gonna have to pay $1,997 and you'll get a lot less, and no bonus package. All right, so what I love about this is you can do it. You don't need cash. You don't need credit to microflip. You don't need experience either. You don't need to be handy. Most of you have no business out there doing rehabs, right? You don't need a license or a degree. You don't even need a driver's license because you can do this all virtual. You will need an internet connection, a little training, and one login. I know you have an internet connection. You've been on the training here with us for a while now, so I know you can consume information, and the login, you know how to get that login. So there you go. This is all you need. And speaking of not even needing a driver's license, let me go ahead and talk about our member right here. She lives in Canada. She's a mother. She researched everything back when it was PIN4, not even PIN5. And it's like, PIN is the best. Take a look at how her life has changed.
I'm a mother. I have 4 kids. And other than that, outside of, running them to sports and all their kind of stuff that they do, I do investing. So that's pretty much my life. I think we cleared just over 40,000. And I think that same week we actually got like 3 others under contract that are being rehabbed right now and should be on the market here shortly. I researched, every tool pretty much that was out there, and what we really liked with PIN is that it does multifamily, which is huge, and just all the data that you get with that tool. If you know how to siphon through that data and understand what you're reading, then it's so powerful. That's what we've been using and continue to find deals, all the time on it. That's how we've gotten our last couple deals that we have.
Good job. Keep it up. Keep it up. All right, guys, this data is everything. It's access. You're locked out without it. It's speed. It's how you find exactly what you need fast. It's a head start. It's automation. It's your unfair advantage, and it's insider information. Here you go. It's a head start. There you go. This guy's getting a big head start there. That's what the data does for you. No matter how experienced someone is, no matter how fast they are, if you have that head start, people can't catch you, right? So go ahead and visit the website address and make the investment. And now I'm going to get real with you for a second here, right? Because if you're still on the line, don't make light of this decision you're making right now, right? Because this is not just a normal decision. Do you want fries with that type decision? This is a fork in the road for you. You're either going to keep doing what you're doing, keep getting the results you're getting, or you're going to take it to the next level, help yourself, help your family, and help rebuild America. But really, like, if you're not investing in real estate right now, the millionaire maker, I mean, what's your plan? You're planning to work for someone else until you die? You can't really save your way to financial freedom. I mean, the value of the dollar keeps going down and down and down. So you're losing money saving. It's doing no good to have that $1,497 just sitting there, not doing anything, when you can invest in a software that you can write off and start making some serious money. So, right now you need around $1.2 million to retire. How close are you to that? Right? Maybe some of you are already there, but you're trying to retire other people in your family. Basically, what you need to retire is 12 times your best annual income. And then you have to have your money somewhere that's working for you. So even if you have the 1.2 million, you need to go ahead and put it in real estate. And guys, this is with no health or family issues. Who here on the line doesn't have a health or a family issue? I have a health and family issue, right? This is just kind of the new reality that we're all living here. And who I have on the screen here, does anyone know who that is? It's Franklin Roosevelt. And he was the president at the time that Social Security was enacted. And most people, they worked for a company forever, then they had their Social Security and their pension. That stuff does not exist anymore in the same way. You can't rely on that. There's no telling when they'll just be like, oh, no more pension, oh, no more Social Security, sorry. That could happen tomorrow. Who knows, right? So you have to rely on yourself. This could really be the difference. This decision could be the difference between eating, ramen noodles or caviar in your golden years. Most people that are 45 years old, if they keep going on their current track, will not have the assets to retire. That's scary, right? That's really scary. But most baby boomers know more about real estate than any other type of investment. So that's why you can do this. So if you're not close to that 1.2 million, what are your choices? You gonna keep working, right? That's tough. You can't even pick up a job at Uber right now. Any other investment is very risky. Real estate is an essential business, so you don't have to worry about what happens in the economy. You can't jump back into the workforce. So this is a reality check that's kind of scary for a lot of people. But that's why you're smart for being here. So take advantage of what you can control. And listen, a lot of you are going to be taking care of your family one way or another. Maybe you have a parent that's just not going to be to retire, and you're going to have to help them along. And it's really hard to do that without getting big chunks of cash, without having steady cash flow. You're on this call for a reason. You know, there's real estate investing has been in your heart for a long time. Growing it, scaling it has been in your heart for a long time. You don't know why. You keep getting pulled back. You keep getting pulled back. Something's telling you, I need to invest in real estate. I need to invest in real estate. You were just waiting for the right time. You were waiting for the right solution, the right plan. Ease of access, like with PIN. Now you have it. So now you can't rely on, my name's Ross. I can't rely on tomorrow, Ross, to do something. I have to rely on today, Ross, to make the decision. Don't wait until tomorrow. You're going to miss the bonus package. All right. Only today, Ross exists. So, I mean, a year's salary, in a click. The strategy she learned made it possible for her to find a property that she quickly flipped and made more on one flip than 99% of people make in a year. That is very possible. That is very possible. But you have to be in the game to win. And when we talked to Penny, the reason that she loved micro flipping and PIN5 is because she needed the freedom to work from anywhere. She needed big influxes of cash to help take care of her family that relies on her. And she needed to be able to drop everything at a moment's notice to be there if her family needed it. Now, when you're your own boss, you can do that. If not, you have to beg. Oh, please, Mr. or Mrs. Boss, can I please go take care of my family? Oh, thank you, thank you. Come on, we're beyond that, right? We're beyond that. At first, Penny thought real estate investing was too time consuming, but then she saw PIN and she was in, right? She goes around and hula hoops and goes to festivals. I mean, she's an awesome, awesome lady. This is kind of funny right here, okay? And if you know me, you know I'm not about Lamborghinis and all that stuff, but this quote really stuck with me. My boss arrived at work in a brand new Lamborghini. I said, wow, that's an amazing car. And he replied, if you work hard and put all your hours in and strive for excellence, then I'll get another one next year. You're working hard to make someone else's dream become a reality, right? You're holding on. Please don't fire me. Please don't fire me. But when times get tough, the first thing they do is they have to cut expenses. So even if you're in a stable company, right? You still want a side hustle. You don't have to go crazy with it, but there's no reason you shouldn't flip 2 or 3 houses a year in this market while you're working your current job that you love. Maybe you love your job. Maybe you love your coworkers, but you love your family more, right? So you need to make sure that you have access to the financial tools to help your family. And because you're getting extra accounts, you and your family can do this together. So again, this is what you're getting right here. You can go business account or personal account. You're getting the $10,000 bonus package, all the automations, everything you need right here, right now at the website address on the screen. And guys, again, webinar only $10,000 bonus package expires once we take this webinar down. That's it. We can only work with so many people. Visit the website address on the screen. Get the extra account. Get 4 times the records, the skip tracing, the CI buyers, the contract genie, the next step tech, and the legendary support. Get that phone call from Megan, right? Who's saying, great, we're so glad to have you on board. Now let's get you started. Now let's get you started. That's gonna feel real good when you get that phone call. I'm gonna point you in the right direction. All right. So guys, this is how you 10x your income in 24 months by helping America recover, by helping your bank account, by being in position to help your family. Don't have an income? Well, the choice is yours, because now you do. So I want to thank everyone who's been here. You had 2 big decisions to make. One, if you wanted to invest in real estate in this market. And if you don't, you have another plan. Good luck, right? If you do, then you have to decide, do you want us to help you? Do you think these tools would help you? Could you see yourself using this? Do you understand how easy we've made it in comparison to how it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 2 years ago? And you understand the opportunity that's coming. If you're still with us, I think you know the answer. So I'm going to leave this up just for a little while longer, okay? Just a little while longer. I'm going to play a few videos here. Once this webinar comes down, you can't get the bonus package. So again, thank you so much for being part of Connected Investors. Thank you for opening our emails, for jumping on our calls. And I really hope that this information has had a big impact on your life and that you make the right decision for you right now.
Ross, seriously, thanks so much for giving us such a great detailed breakdown of the economics and data behind this strategy. And most importantly, thanks for giving our members such a huge advantage with PINv5. It is truly the best real estate investing software ever created during the best market conditions we'll ever see in our lifetime, probably. But this big PIN discount, bonus package, and market conditions obviously aren't going to last forever. So jump in now. For those of you who are enrolled, you made a very smart decision that your future self's definitely going to thank you for. You're in good hands with Ross and his team, just like I know I am. Then they've been around since 2005, and they continue to grow at a very, very fast pace. We'll put a notice on fundandgrow.com/pin. And again, that link, fundandgrow.com/pin, once we've hit the limit and this all comes down. So if you have any questions, please visit the site and chat with Ross's team or pick up the phone and give them a call. Ross, do you have any last words?
Man, I really feel like I've said everything I need to say, but I don't want you to make light of how important this decision is, right? This is a very, very important decision right now to really push hard, scale up, or start in this economy right now. Remember, I became successful because of when I invested. Right now is the time. You heard it with Dave, and it's just make the right call right now, because you're not going to get this opportunity again in your lifetime ever again to take advantage of what's happening. And again, this is the time you're going to look back on and say, thank God I did that. And we're here for you. We're going to support you. We're going to answer your questions. I know you might have some questions. Give us a call at the website address. Someone on our team can help you out.
All right, everyone. Well, it's decision time, and this is an important decision. So are you going to put yourself in a position to not just survive, but thrive? Well, all you have to do is visit fundandgrow.com/pin and take out your credit card, key in a few numbers, and you'll have instant access to everything that we've covered on the call today. And you'll instantly have access to all of that. So everyone, thank you for joining us, and I will see you on the inside.
When I first got started, I was about a year, I was making six figures, working as an engineer. I was trying to juggle both. Fortunately, or unfortunately, I started my career right after the crash. And if anyone remembers, there were foreclosures everywhere. So, they were not as abundant, but they were not as hard to pick up. Well, when I made the jump to full-time, shortly after about 6 months to a year, that died off. So the access that we have now to pinpoint profits, to the vacates, to pre-foreclosures, the taxes, all those key leads that we have access to now, we didn't have. So I literally would drive, knock on doors, because I started getting nervous. Where am I going to find my next deal? I don't have all this data. I'm sitting at the courthouse. I'm knocking on these people's doors and, afraid I'm going to get shot, or driving for dollars, or putting bandit signs in and, hoping that the police don't come and call me and tell me to get my signs up or something. So, access to this data has completely transformed the business of how investors work these days. The house we're sitting in right now, I got from Pinpoint Profits, from the data feed. I've got two houses on the other side of the town that we got those from vacant feeds within Pinpoint Profits. And we have two more in subdivisions that actually was from Pinpoint Profits in the data feed. So it's kind of a no-brainer that it brings you deals.
One of the main reasons why I chose real estate investing is because of my children. The fact that this career gives me a vision to be able to create the life that I want, that can turn into allowing them to have all the possibilities at their fingertips to live the life that they want to live and become who they want to be. It's the most important thing to me in my life. My name's Thomas Hillgardner, and I'm a real estate investor. About a year ago, I was in a really rough place because I did some general contracting work on a flip house with a friend, and really we learned a lot of good things, but there was a lot of things that went different than what we hoped to go. And yeah, it left me in a pretty tough place because it sort of shook the friendship up, and I was really just emotionally kind of gone. I was paralyzed and just not feeling really well, and kind of questioning like what direction I wanted to go with my life. And I remember one day I was sitting on my front porch and my kids were playing in the front yard, and I was kind of supposed to be watching them, and my wife came around the corner and handed me this book. And it was a book that was about real estate and how off-market real estate can really change your life. It was the starting point of really kind of making me look at my habits in life and changing everything, every part of my life, to being the best me. And I started doing research and started getting online and finding all these different opportunities, and Connected Investors popped up. And I started learning about their pre-MLS software that they have that gives you off-market data for contacting these owners who might be interested in selling. And I reached out to Connected Investors, and they gave me a couple of trial sheets of cities that I said that I'd be interested in. And man, I just went one down the list, picked up the phone, called, picked up the phone. And I finally got a hold of this client that was interested in selling a couple of lots on a private lake here in Illinois, and it kind of just spiraled into something bigger than me at that point. From that moment, it was just like I could see the light. I could see what the possibility was for this career to change my family's life, to change my life, and to really see how this business is so unique, to be able to really create a life that you couldn't even have dreamed doing. I just kind of had to keep, being consistently creating opportunities. I have to do this, and I'm going to do this, and nothing's going to stop me. And, there were definitely some days that I was, riddled with some self-doubt and how's this ever going to happen? But as soon as I got this deal under contract, it was like, boom, everything opened, and my life has never been the same.